to do the transmission into platforms. So I'm live now on Facebook, on my Facebook of Viedma in Peru, and in YouTube. So if you are in YouTube, you can watch over there as well. And in Facebook, they are just boring. They are just deleting everything in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And in YouTube, it will stay. And let's see what is the quality. If the quality on YouTube is good and it will not be cut off, I will keep it. If not, I will just copy from Facebook. All right, so today in English, and the topic is codes, or who is allowed to square the circle, square the circle. But I will go to that later on, talking to you. And yeah, first, I would like to talk about what is now, what we've got now in this, what's the situation with codes, with the matrix, organic matrix and the artificial matrix, what's going on. And then I would like to say what I do and what you can do in connection with that. Now I'm Joanna, Joanna, and I'm Polish, and my nickname is Viedma in Peru. It's my brand, one of my brands, but today I'm speaking from that brand. It's Fringla, and it's connected to my activity all about codes, languages, and from that brand I offer you in my store books, webinars connected to languages, also alternative education and homeschooling, tips about that, and also that part connected to matrix, meaning what is this manifestation, materialization, all that. You've got webinars, so go check my website, from matrix to self.com. And I've got also a school, language school, so you can check that in the part Fringla. Now, today let's talk about those codes, and that's connected. So I'm doing that on Facebook and on my Fringla YouTube channel, because it's connected with matrix. Now, what is this matrix? Matrix is like matrice, yeah. So that's this web of everything interconnected, and basically it's also, you can say it's a web, you can say those are grids, but you can also use the name, the source, the, how to say, the it, or the reality of everything, and basically some people call it God, yeah, and some people call it book, Bahaga, God, and basically it's interconnected. But that's the organic matrix. And I know that some people just work on things like earth grid and so on, so I just want to talk a little bit about that, but it will not be long. But I do lives every second day in English, so check my Facebook and YouTube channels, because I talk a lot about that, and about the nowadays reality. So the thing is that not only the organic matrix exists. I don't know where to look, here or here, and I'm sorry, I will be looking here and here. So in fact, there is also something like an artificial matrix, and I'm not going here to put any judging, okay? It's difficult, and this topic is difficult, and I'm not going to go into that right now to say it's good or bad, but basically it's distorted. Yeah, the fact, the reality is that the organic matrix got distorted, and what we conscious people are doing, we just want to clean, and but first thing, we need to be conscious what's going on. So this thing, this web, this grid, the source is, you can say, a little bit used and dirty, and what is this? If you want to say or explain to yourself, you would have to say that those are the codes, letters, numbers, alphabets, colors, shapes, figures, and everything that you call sacred geometry, geometria, or yeah, colors. It's something that we see through our eyes. Yeah, the world in fact has a little different shape and a little different color, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, we live like that. Our sight is like that, human. So colors are also in that story of the source topic or grid topic, and grid is the web as well, yeah, because it is the matrix is this web. Now you need to know that all that is all, and if I'm saying all, it's all, exactly. There is nothing pure anymore. We can make it pure by making pure ourselves and our consciousness, and that's what many people are doing, and good. Thank you, and do it. So purify yourself and be conscious. Now you need to know that all the which is codes and sacred geometry and the symbols that you are using many times, and you are talking about that. So some people are just get very dark and negative, and they say don't use any symbols because there are some satanic symbols, and don't use the I don't know, for example, the star of David, so-called in Bible, or don't use the hexagram. Yeah, don't use some and use others, and some are good, some are bad. It's neither good or bad. It's just that everything is distorted and everything is kind of dirty. So you just need to use it, but be conscious what you do with that and where you do, because okay, those are the codes, there are the symbols, there are the mantras. Just, I would say, check everything, even religions, check any path, but just don't go too deep, because the thing is that the deeper you go, the more it's distorted, and the more it is in fact disconnected from the source. Yeah, so it's like that. And when we talk about this matrix, this matrice, also we talk about those symbols, those codes, those numbers that are coded inside ourselves. That's why I said start from yourself, yeah, your consciousness, and also your body. Be conscious of your body, be here and now, and so on. Yeah, but as well, you may think, you may know that, and it's true that all that is connected to the body of Gaia, of Earth, and Gaia is huge, and there are different parts with different names. For example, Terra and or Earth, Erta. But it doesn't matter for now about those names. Maybe I will go deeper in that, but for the moment, you need to know that kind of the body of the Earth, it's what we call grid, and some people do some kind of grid work. Now, just be conscious that just as those symbols of sacred geometry are distorted, are used, through those symbols goes your output of your energy. They just suck out your energy, so be careful. But as well, when you step on some place, you go somewhere and you hear, for example, about some places of power, or you go to centers of attention, and the big center of attention, I live in Peru, yeah, it's Machu Picchu. Now, believe me or not, I don't go there much. It's just because it's so huge, but it's also blocked, and it's also used, and many people go there, and it's getting dirty as well. So be careful. And I would say, yeah, go there, to feel what you feel, to check what you feel. Go there to check those places, different places, they've got energy, but be conscious and, for example, go visit, go check, go, but be careful if you want to do, for example, any kind of workshops, ceremonies, and so on, because probably it will not go really to your metamorphosis and your work, internal work, but it may go to somebody else. And that's how we touch the topic. Who is allowed to square the circle? Yeah. Okay, in a moment. Now I just want to say about myself, and you can do the same, or you can just watch me or some other people. There are so many conscious beings, like what to do, how to do. Just put through yourself the new creation, just renew the symbols. And yeah, for example, I don't know if you know, because I speak English, my books are in Polish. I had a huge project working on Polish grammar, and I did the bigger form of Polish grammar. Polish is very ancient, much more. I mean, all Slavic languages are ancient because they are connected to Sanskrit, Lithuanian, and all those, the core of Indo-European, much more than English, German, French, or whatever, because this is the core of the tree. But also it's all as well. The grammar is very complicated, much more complicated Polish than Russian, for example. And that means that there's a lot of old and traditional grammar, and I kind of renew that grammar, you can say. All right, so I put it in books. So that was my work, but there's also in English and French the big webinar matrix, you can say, but I call it matrix of the language, and you can check it in my store. It's available, and it's all about codes. It's about grammar as well, because grammar, it's sacred. It's a core of this grid, of this matrix, because those are all frequencies and vibrations, and you can code with that, you can manifest with that. So language is very important, and if the language is very much connected to Arya source, it's like we are in the third seeding now, and yeah, just that I would say. And all those languages come from the, you can see, second seeding, and the Sanskrit, all other languages, Polish and others, yeah, it wasn't called Polish, yeah, and it wasn't called Sanskrit. Never mind. Those languages are just very, very old, and they have those deep codes, yeah. So I'm working on that. I'm doing that. So you can check my work, but it's there will be another course, probably a webinar connected to that one, the real original. Some linguists call it Proto-Indo-European. I don't think so. Something like that existed, Proto-Indo-European, like one core of all the languages of Europe and Asia, not Asia, but exactly India. But I think there was something that what I, for example, call Chaldean Arya language, but basically vibrational grammar, because realizations can be different. Yeah, so that's all about that, but I also invite you to my workshop in Peru, and it will be next year. There are different dates. I will put link here below, so you can check it, or you can go to my website or to Facebook. There's an event about that, and we will talk about that, also about the grid, about the matrix, but it's mainly about archetypes, how to put yourself to get there and change your life. So that's what I'm doing, and basically it's all about cleaning the matrix, yeah, and it's a general sense of everything that is, because if somebody wants to work on your own matrix, that's another story, and I basically work on that in sessions. Okay, so now I don't want to make it too long, so let's talk about this topic. So codes, or who is allowed to square the circle. Now, you've got that saying, yeah? Surely you know it, square the circle. And somebody made you believe that it's something which is very difficult. Yeah, square the circle basically as a saying means that something is very difficult and kind of impossible. So how you can do it? In Polish we say kwadratura koła. Kwadratura koła. So it's not a verb. It's not a verb. Basically, we say that it's something difficult. Because why? Because what are those concepts? Circle or cycle, it's round, yeah? So it's eternal. It goes round and round and round. And the energy goes round and round and round. It's basically Godish, yeah? It's basically eternal. And that's how the energy goes. Now, if you want to put it in some kind of shape different than circle or sphere, you will have problems with energy because it will be kind of stored in different places. It will not go so smoothly. It will maybe stop and go and stop and go. And this idea, of course, you've got that, yeah, in different philosophies. You've got, for example, something which is like the circle, but then circle, circle, but then you've got the cross inside, and the cross basically is kind of the same to the cube or square. Yeah, so that's the idea that the circle or the cycle need to stop sometimes, and that's when you've got those rites of passage, for example, those feasts, yeah, or equinoxes and so on. So the circle is going round and stops, around and stops, around and stops. Okay, but basically it's going round. Yeah. Now this is kind of normal. It's kind of normal in our world, and that's how this dance reality works. You can say true, but if it was for the if it was for the good of everybody, it would be fine if you would all know, like maybe before in second sitting, everybody knew how it worked, that this is the circle and this is the square, and you need to stop and pause and kind of store your energy to prepare for the next cycle or next part of the cycle, circling. That would be fine, but now few people have that knowledge, or more and more, which is fine, but not everybody has that knowledge, and some people just think that it's abnormal, that yeah, and it's like square the circle, and that means, how to say, in our language now, it's saying that it's very difficult and not everybody can do it, or kind of nobody can square the cycle and circle. And in fact, that's what happens in that reality. It's like the spirit in matter, matter in spirit, square and circle, yeah, kind of put together. But it was not like that from the beginning, because at the beginning, and when there is pure energy, pure source, when there is pure source coming through us and through Gaia and yeah, before, and everything was kind of liquid and not so dense, it was a different story. Now we are more or less dense, so there's matter, so we need to know that sometimes it's liquid, sometimes it's matter, so sometimes square, sometimes circle. And in fact, what I want to do in the language, just think that all of you are all the time circling the square and squaring the circle, and it's not impossible. That's kind of how the reality goes right now, that we are doing and stopping, doing and stopping, doing and stopping, and we are in that movement. All right, and the movement is also it's not only for some philosophers, but the movement is also as above so below, so up down, left right, and it's inverse. So here, left right, yeah, that's, and this makes the cross and the square. Yeah, so you should know that we are all doing that. Why do I say that? because they made you believe that to square the circle, only some people, and who that is, can do it. And they did it also through chakras. Of course, we didn't have chakras at the beginning. Surely at the first, not really seeding, but first people who emerged from the source didn't really have any chakras. And then the second seeding, how you say, I don't think so. Maybe later, well, depends, yeah, with dates and epochs. But the third seeding and all the people who are walking right now, maybe depends, indigo children, crystal children, that's another story. Maybe I invite you to my course, our course, mine of my friend Agnieszka. We will talk about that if you want to find the solutions, because it's difficult to be indigo, crystal, or rainbow, parent of or child, adult child. Yeah, but basically we all have got chakras, and I don't know if you noticed, those chakras are kind of circle, square, triangle, circle, square, kind of, I don't know if messed up, mixed up, but kind of structured. So we are not really true consciousness source. The source is not flowing through us like woo, woo. No, it's like more like a ladder. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, kind of like this dance reality. Yeah. What that means? That means that most people just don't understand. We just need to go back to ourselves. Just take the ownership of yourself, and at least at the state of matter. Yeah. So what I've got some chakras. How do they look like? What colors? Like, why is that so? Okay. And what's going on when I do things, when I've got my ideas, when I'm creative, when I'm having love, in sex, in orgasm? What's going on with me? And is it all mine? What's going on? In which place I am of the grid of this world, yeah, or it's not, it's kind of mine, but not mine because somebody is taking that from me. Yeah, that's what I want to say. I know that you've got a lot of real stories, Matrix, Masons, Illuminati, I don't know what, and even some people who have got squares on their head, on their hair body, something like the envelope, something like the kaptolka, it's called in Old Polish. So something like, sometimes looking like the bag or grail, something looking like the head, sometimes looking like a square. And why would that be that somebody would put that things on their front or on their head, or I don't know, no? Or maybe you know. I'm just joking. I'm not going much deeply in that matter, but I am just saying, be careful, because some people may just want to steal your energy, and they are doing that since times immemorial now. But I just want to finish that transmission saying, not only they are allowed, and it's just that they took that right, decided that they can and we cannot square the circle, and kind of that they are owners of all the circles and cycles of the world, and we are not. And who says that? I mean, let's just be owners of everything that we own and have, conscious owners, and of your own matrix, of your own grid, internal, and just be conscious of what you do, how you do it, and where you do it. Bye-bye. I don't know, how do you finish that in YouTube? Okay. Bye-bye. Cześć. Cześć, Valeria. Hello. And goodbye.